Hey, honeys.
Yo, yo, yo. It's the Who,
Where,
Their podcast.
Well, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, you can just call us the Travel Brats.
First name Travel.
Last name Brat.
So, what's on the itinerary today? Hello.
Hi.
Hello, my
Guys,
favorite people.
Our favorite people. Guess who? Guess who it is?
It is the best day of the week, of course.
And guess who's here with you? Soph and Ash. Ash and Soph, you know, Sash.
Yeah, Sash. Oh,
Yeah.
we have a cute little couple name.
Sashia. We could like insert you in the middle. That sounds a little cool. It sounds like Moroccan
We're
or something.
getting fancy dancy over
All
here.
right, guys. We're going to go ahead and start and kick it off. Ashley, what are we doing today?
This was an episode I'm really, really excited about sharing. Basically, it is all about the ultimate girls trip and friendly adventures. I mean, if you want to bring a group of friends, we have a bunch of friends that are girls and guys.
Yeah, we have a bunch of friends that, like, guy friends that act like chicks, too. And girlfriends that act like dudes. So, you know, just friends. Girls trips, trips.
Yeah, basically we were just saying this is the perfect destinations, whether it's for a bachelorette party or finally getting all that PTO off for a long weekend with your friends. Definitely you need a getaway, and we are going to give you some inspiration so you can start planning for whether it's for fun, relaxation, or need some more spontaneity in your life. Here are some wonderful options.
And this is like a total, let me just add, this is like a total hype episode because people are actually starting to travel again. So we're like getting really, really hyped about it.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to turn, this episode was Ashley's idea. It was a great idea. And I'm turning it into a game.
Of course we're playing a game, right, guys?
Game for your life. Just kidding. Not a game for your life, guys. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a similar game that we used to play with you guys when we were like at the height of COVID with all those song episodes for road trips.
Oh,
and
I loved that.
Yeah, that we put out. It's basically going to be guessing game. So guess the city. Guess the friends traveling city, okay? Ashley's going to describe a city, and I'm going to try to guess it, and then I'm going to describe a city. She's going to try to guess it. We've each come up with a few of our own that our friends have given us. We're going to shout out to all of our friends on here. But yes, so we're going to begin, and Ashley's going to start.
Yes, okay. Go. So this is one of my favorite places to travel. It's also known as the music capital of the world and is home of the top bachelorette hotspots. We've talked about this on a previous episode, and you already know it had lively night adventures on a wonderful place of Broadway. And then also our homegirl talked about a bunch of parks that you can go adventure to, different museums. You already know this place, but just pack your cowgirl boots.
Yeah, I was just pack my cowgirl boots, my cowgirl hat, and I'll pack Miley Cyrus along in my suitcase. And it's Nashville. I was waiting for you to finish because I knew it as soon as you said it was one of your favorite places. And
literally, that was the first thing I said. I'm like, oh, this is my favorite place. She's like, yep, Nashville. I saw her like being like, Ashley, let me speak. I know what it is.
No. So, and guys, if you haven't listened to like the full spiel on Nashville, we have an episode with that beautiful actress, Natalie Brower, that was living with me for a little while doing shows down here in Fort Myers. And she basically told us all the ins and outs of Nashville. And just a shout out to her and to Nashville. She's actually coming down here this weekend again to do more shows. They're Broadway songs. So if there's peeps in Fort Myers, Naples, in the tri-state area, or in Florida, come on down. And then you actually had a friend who talked a little bit about Nashville with us.
Oh, yeah. And so
one time.
Yeah. We did have somebody who talked about it, but this one became highly regarded and recommended by my friend Gabby.
Yeah.
She reached out on our social media and was like, hey, I'd love to hear more about Nashville, or this is definitely the top place for a girls trip. I've traveled there before, and it definitely deserves to make your list. And then it was really cool because when we released the Nashville episode, actually, I've had a couple people since then go and visit Nashville, and they've actually gone to the places that we've recommended.
Guys, that makes us so happy.
Yeah, this is why we do this. We connect with you all, and especially if you ever go somewhere we recommend and you love it too, or you want to give us some feedback, tag us in your pictures, tell us you've been there, and share with your friends also.
Yeah,
so
guys,
we love that.
We love our peoples. We love our travel brats, guys. That's why we
call you our
travel brats, because we love you. And so thanks, Gabby. Shout out to Gabby. And it's my turn.
Yeah. Okay, so that's so far our top one. So let's hear what Sofia has for a top two.
Okay, you're gonna guess this pretty easy. I'm gonna try to make it kind of hard. It's scenic. Okay, that doesn't narrow it down. There's a lot of scenic places in the U.S. Okay, it's a scenic. It's a winter wonderland half the year. It's freezing half the year. It has
definitely not Florida.
In the summer it has hikes and exploration. And the winter has still exploration, but a whole lot of skiing.
Oh.
And you're getting warmer, even though when you go here, all you get is colder. And it has a ton of stuff, guys. Outdoor activities, mainly kayaking, biking. It's got some of the best breweries in the country. If you can think outside the box, whitewater rafting, art festivals, got a ton of cool cities. And I'm trying to shout out 2 cities in this state. 2 really cool cities. One really like hippie artsy city in this state that just keeps growing and growing, and then another city that's more like of a city with bigger buildings and more like corporate stuff, and it's also growing and growing.
Okay, I'm not sure about the 2 cities, but the first one that came to mind is Boulder, but that's because we've done an episode on that.
Boulder's one. Yes. Okay. It's like the place of Colorado.
So Colorado.
The city of Colorado. Yeah, Colorado. So Boulder, and then my second one was
Denver.
Yeah, you got it. Denver. Okay,
so Boulder and Denver.
So it's like, I feel like it's not super similar to Nashville, but I feel like it's a cool transition because it's like Nashville's got a little bit of everything. I think Colorado has a little bit of everything, but it's like enhanced.
Okay.
Like, you have more art festivals and probably more of a chill vibe than you'd get in Nashville. You don't have a ton of like bougie bars like you get in Nashville in Denver and in Boulder. But if you go, like, it's like Hippie Town in Denver, or not Denver, sorry, Hippie Town in Boulder, and then if you go to Denver, you get a little more of that bougie city vibe. But it's awesome because it's just got that great contrast between staying in the city and doing city stuff, and then you have just right outside the city, outdoors all around you.
Oh, so I love that kind of environment.
Yeah, and if you like hiking and stuff out of Nashville, it's just like Boulder's like that on steroids because it's like the huge Rocky Mountains. Yeah. But Nashville has beautiful mountains too. You can go hike in Tennessee and camp in Tennessee too. So I feel like it's a little bit, it's not similar, but it's kind of got the same stuff in a way.
And then wasn't that was actually recommended by
who's that recommended by?
By one of my good friends from my Peace Corps days, Katie. And so now I see that.
Shout out to Katie.
Yeah, Katie, that's awesome. I haven't been to Denver or Boulder yet, but more and more people are recommending it to me, and especially I start thinking about breweries. Yeah. I would just love that.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too. It's got great breweries and it's got great food. And guys, we've done a couple episodes on Colorado. We've done skiing episodes and we've done a Boulder episode, and we're planning on a Denver episode.
Yeah, so
stay tuned, Travel Brats, and go back and listen to our other episodes. Ashley, it's your turn.
All right, so that was our top 2 was going to be Boulder and Denver, Colorado. Now for me, this place is, I would love to say it's known for its southern charm, but I also, every time I think of this place, I think of this restaurant called Two Cracked Eggs. And it's like a bunch of like little mom and pop shops and a lot of different cobble roads, and it has a lot of really rich history. And also, the hint that's going to give it away is this is also your home state.
Oh, wow.
So
California.
Right? You wish.
I wish, yeah.
But this place is one of my favorite places in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
But it definitely... Every time I go there, I'm reminded about how much I love little mom and pop shops and being on the water and everything. So you're right on the Mississippi. Where's your guess?
I'm so onto it. It's Savannah because it's you know what other city's really similar to it? I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but Charleston.
Yes.
It's really similar with the cobblestone streets. It's got all the little marinas, but it's like cooler water. It's like it's not really in the north, but it's got a bit of a northern feel. It's like a little water city. Yeah, and it's so pretty. The tiny shops and the food is great. It's all fresh. The seafood's great, and it's just like it's one of those places where you're like, I want to go visit Georgia, and then you're like, wait, Georgia has a coastline. Yeah. Wait, and you see like pictures of Savannah, and you're like, how beautiful.
We went
it's
there.
Got like the weeping willow trees, and it's so it's like really cool vibe.
We went there for New Year's Eve, and it was so much fun, and we had a blast the entire day, and then, like, you're supposed to stay up till midnight. I passed out at 11:30, guys. I did not make it, but it was so cold, and it was a little bit dreary, but it was really nice because we really got to go explore. I can't think of any museums that we actually went to, but we were entertained the entire day, just going into shops and exploring the streets, and then the people, like I said, we we stopped at this place, Two Cracked Eggs, and the owner was so nice, made delicious food. And then we actually stayed at this hotel that is by the Marriott. It's called the Bohemian Hotel. And it was absolutely amazing right there on the water. So that's something that I would always recommend. But that was super cool for a girls' trip. I went with my family, but I would love to do it again with friends.
Yeah, and you know what? I've actually been there. When I was like in 8th grade. And it does have so much history because we went there like as a historic field trip and we stayed over the weekend like as a school.
Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was like a school field trip. It was actually the only fun thing our school ever did. So, and what was really cool is they even have like ghost tours and stuff.
I love that.
Old historic Savannah. So it's really cool.
And that was actually recommended by my friend Jasmine that I met in high school, good old psychology class.
Shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah, it's super cool to see people's recommendations and for all of you that follow along and share with us because it's people that you maybe haven't seen in a couple of years or faces that we do not know yet.
And they'll listen to our podcast and they'll be like, oh, they remembered me.
Yeah, right? So we really appreciate you guys sharing with us. So thank you, Jasmine for
we love you.
recommending.
You're the real MVP,
Savannah.
Jasmine. And it's my turn again. So I'll just keep talking. This place, probably one of my favorite places. It's weird. But it's a whole lot of fun. It's like a different place from, funniest, most interesting, and probably most crazy city in the U.S., in my opinion, that I've been to, don't take it with a grain of salt because I'm uncultured. But whether you're going to Mardi Gras there, which I just totally gave away,
dear,
or planning a quick trip, or going to see old historic homes, or on a riverboat cruise, it's got art and jazz music focus. You still can have outdoorsy experiences, and the architecture, man, the houses, little townhouses, everything's connected. It's phenomenal. Like it's so pretty, and you feel like you're just in another little world. From their entertaining botanical garden to like their lively old what's that bar that we both went to? You know what place it is already.
So
it's like old blues clubs.
Yeah, it was
BB King's Blues Club.
Yes.
So from that to that, it's literally like just extremely fun, and Ashley knows what it is.
Well, okay, so I knew right away because like Sophia's getting over here talking about chaos, and when I think of chaos, I think it's about me and Soph in New Orleans. Our second episode we ever released on Travel Brats was all about NOLA. I would love to redo that episode and just share all of that information again.
Yeah, right?
We had so much fun.
I don't know if that episode could have come out any better, though. It was too funny. We're sitting in there with I think I brought pralines just to make the mood and cigars when we recorded that episode, and Ashley was like, what are you doing? Well, what's wrong with you?
Honestly, that type of environment, I feel like at work, I'm always on top of my stuff. I've always been in school. Now I'm doing my master's and stuff, but when you travel to certain places, you kind of get to take on a new environment, and also it takes away your stress, especially when you take care of what you need to before, so you can travel with an open mind and try different things that you wouldn't normally. I cannot sing. I'm not musically inclined. My voice kind of is one of my biggest insecurities that I've overcome. But I got up on stage with Sofia to sing karaoke, not just once, not just twice, but 3 times, and we jumped some rope on stage.
And we literally wore cowboy hats and used plastic Guitar Hero guitars that were disconnected, and it was just the funnest. It was the most fun time ever. I was about to say funnest. It's not a word, guys. And try it at home. It's it's got the Creole Queen, Mississippi River's right there. So many museums, and just the food is a whole nother planet.
The beignets,
and you don't get it anywhere else. Yeah. You don't get the Acme Oyster House char-grilled oysters. You don't get the beignets from Cafe Du Monde, the chicory coffee anywhere else. So,
it is kind of dirty. Bring shoes and wear shoes that you could very much throw away, and they're closed-toed.
That's a total travel tip, because when we went the first day, I wore these white lifted wedges, and those things were dead and gone after
dead and gone, guys.
Hours. So guys, wear your least favorite shoes.
Yeah, so when you do your girls trip, when you do your girls trip and start packing your bag, wear a cute outfit, yes, and do your thing, but then wear shoes that are super comfy and closed-toed, because I feel like people are spilling their drinks all night and doing all that kind of stuff.
And seriously, if you like vintage jazz and you like even outdoorsy stuff, guys, I think it's just got everything, but it is a little crazy. That's just one city, too, that you just want to be safe in. So go with a bigger group of friends. Ashley and I went by ourselves, so it really wants to talk, but we ran into these friends that we knew, and they ended up walking us home one night, and it actually was really, really clutch because
Yeah.
we learned, not the hard way, nothing happened, but we were a little sketched out. So we learned that we probably go in a bigger group. And again, we're talking about friends trips or girls trips. If you guys go with like, if you go to especially like Mardi Gras or something, bring a couple guys with you if you're doing like all girls. It's a little bit sketchier.
Do your thing with that.
Bring your
just
Glocks.
Pay attention.
Just kidding.
We do not recommend traveling with
them. So was making a joke. All right, moving on.
But Mardi Gras is definitely worth going to. I've gone a couple times with friends, but then I got to go to Mardi Gras too, and that's just like a vibe that it's kind of hard to describe. And I know you've probably seen videos and stuff, but that would be something really cool to do with friends. It is like triple as busy or 3 times as busy as it normally is. I liked when we went though. I liked the pace of it.
I think what we pointed out that I never really realized about Mardi Gras when we did this episode, over a year ago, was that the parades are like not just at night, and there's not a few of them. They're like go on in all the neighborhoods all day long. So it's like you can literally just go to a parade whenever you want and stay as long as you want and whatever. So it's not like big crowds for one. It is big crowds, but it's not like, okay, here's the parades. They're from 5 to 10 p.m. and you have to be there and you have to be with everybody. It's so cool. They're all over the place. It's like a party all over the place.
Non-stop, guys. But definitely plan ahead with that because that's when stuff starts getting a little bit more pricey. So then Sofia has another one that she wants me to guess for.
Yeah, I got a little excited. May have started talking about it too early. Just kidding. Okay, so it's so this place is like such a different place. You know, the United States has a bunch of different scenic areas. It's like, you know, you got the fields of wheat, and then you've got the coast of the West Coast with like the big rocky cliffs, and then you've got like the little boatyards of Nantucket and the cities of New York and Chicago. Okay, I sound like a tour guide, but what I'm basically trying to say is when I went to this place, I was like, I felt like we were on like Tatooine and Star Wars or something, or just another place. This entire state is cool. It's like known for the red rocks, and there's a specific city in it that's really cool. I'm actually going to shout out, there's a couple, so I won't shout out the city that I'm trying to get you to guess, but I'll shout out a couple other ones. There's like Phoenix, and there's like this awesome place called Sedona there, and you catching my vibe?
Yeah,
my drift?
I know that we're in Arizona, but I've actually never been, so fill me in.
So this specific place is really deserty. It has a lot of cool architecture, and everything like that's fun there is outdoorsy, and it is, again, it's like pretty art focused. So it's like, you know how Boulder's art focused? This is like art focused, but it's a different art. It's really cool. It's more like native, and it's really neat. From entertaining, Old South Town Scottsdale. So it's called Old Town Scottsdale. I just gave you the answer. Sorry.
Okay, Scottsdale.
Yeah, so it's Scottsdale, Arizona. But it's got like Old Town Scottsdale. It's got like all these outdoorsy stuff from deserts you can explore to like botanical gardens, and it's basically not known for, but it has like really, really, guys, the world's finest golf destinations.
Oh, well, yeah, because, like, I've never traveled to Arizona. I've always wanted to, and, like, I love the desert environment. I've actually heard people talking about a lot with Phoenix and Sedona.
Yeah.
But I've also heard people be talking about Scottsdale.
It's smaller, but it's really cool.
Yeah. Like, I love quaint towns that are, like, really growing neighborhoods, and I remember reading something about, like, Old Town Scottsdale before. I was reading, I always go through travel blogs, and I'm always working to be able to create great content for the Travel Brats and to be able to grow in that sense. And I remember coming across this and just like where you can be somewhere and be in as a local, but then also experiencing different neighborhoods, environments, different cultures, and then obviously having the inspiration from the desert.
And I think what's really cool is it has a vibe, but the vibe is a bit of a mix. You've got like Western, so like cowboy hats and cowboy boots, and then you've got like Native American culture mixed in, and you have Mexican culture mixed in because that's the area you're in. So it's very like Native, and then it's also Western, but then you're closer to the border of Mexico. So you have a lot of mixed culture. So you have a lot of really good like Tex-Mex in Arizona too, and so it's a really neat culture. And the people there are so friendly. Yeah. And they're so nice. So.
Well, and that one got recommended by Sam. And this girl, you always hear me talk about Sam Pagnasat. This is actually a different Sam, and she was
shout out to different Sam.
Yeah, and she's awesome. I played volleyball with her growing up, and it's so cool how I was talking about people coming back into your life and sharing their experiences. And travel allows you to connect with so many people. So I'm really glad that Scottsdale, Arizona, could make the top list for the Travel Brats for girls trips and for friendly endeavors.
Oh yeah. And that, again, we talked about how Boulder and Denver are like a good mix, or like Colorado in general is a good mix of outdoorsy and like art stuff. This Scottsdale is similar.
So I guess we're giving a vibe. So this, basically what we're recommending is really picturesque places that you can get pictures that can last you a couple months on your Instagram feed.
It all fits into the vibe.
Yes,
like
you're
they're
welcome.
all so different, but they can all be just as fun in some similar ways. Mm-hmm. It's just you've got, so if you're like, I would say like, okay, Boulder's like 10% this and 20% that, and then 40% that. Scottsdale's like, well, that 40% turns into 30, but then that 20% turns into 32. So it's like a little more, a little less of each kind of aspect, but it's still similar and good enough for a friend's trip or a girl's trip.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, those are places I definitely am adding to my bucket list and my places I need to go. This next one, though, I'm really excited to share about because this is a very tropical destination. It is probably one of my favorite places in the world. I still have yet to go to Europe and expand my horizon. But this place, honestly, you get to feel like a local. The energy is so lively. And like the bars there, they're unmatched. And I can just imagine myself doing a little bar crawl now. I've been there so many times. And I actually stayed at a super cute place down there called the Amsterdam Curry Mansion Inn. It was absolutely amazing.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah, it was. It's been in their family name, the Amsterdam family. I met the owner. He was so awesome during our stay. We went with a couple of friends and we actually took this is gonna give it away. Took the express to get down to this wonderful place from Fort Myers.
Yeah, I wonder what that could be.
But this mansion that we stayed at, I know you could stay at different hotels or even rent Airbnbs. It is a little bit more complicated when you get to this destination. And so being able to stay very close to, I'm just going to say it, Duval Street, that's the main street. You want to still be in all the action but have enough space to where you can actually sleep at night. And this place was the most quaint place. You could explore this whole mansion. They all had singular rooms that you were staying in and you felt like you were staying back in time. And they also allowed you to walk through all these rooms with so much history, grand pianos that they want you to play, and people who own it are literally working there, talking to you, checking you in, making sure that you're having a great time. And I just love that whole environment. So we're definitely linking that. Thank you very much, Phil. I tell everybody that they should come here. He let us use some of the Vespas, and then we've returned them from him, and they've really made our stay amazing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Was this recommended by Jenny from the boat?
Yes, this was definitely recommended from Jenny from the boat. She told us, Key West is where you're going. So you could go anywhere in the Keys, but I definitely think for a girls trip, and if you're trying to make the most out of a couple days, Key West, Florida is amazing. I never really rented Vespas or scooters before, and then we did for the first time. We were able to get so much done and not have to worry about parking, and I felt relatively safe doing that. But if you're going to be drinking and stuff, don't do that, because I've watched somebody
scootering or Vespaing, guys.
Yeah, it was super dangerous. Obviously, that's illegal, but I watched somebody get on that scooter and take off and flew right into a bar. So it was nuts down in Key West. Duval Street is definitely where you want to stay, but definitely talk to locals where they recommend. We'll definitely be doing an episode all about Key West. But
big time.
You can do the bar crawl to Irish Kevin's and Sloppy Joe's, and then convince your friends to go parasailing. That's some of the highlights that you could do. But honestly, just going and exploring, there is so much to do in Key West, from snorkeling to the food there, absolutely amazing. But like I said, talk to some locals on where to eat.
Yeah. Oh, and talking about, speaking of broadening your horizons, Ashley, all you got to do is look at the ocean if you're in Key West.
Yeah.
And your horizon gets as broad as you want it to. You don't have to go anywhere.
Oh, yeah. You're only 90 miles from Cuba. So with that being said, you're only 90 miles from Cuba. So we have some honorable mentions that are also outside of the States. Cancun, Mexico, obviously is one of my favorite places to go. Hyatt Ziva. Been there a couple of times now. So.
And if you're in Cancun, you're also close to Playa del Carmen.
Amazing.
Totally worth going to.
Yep, and that'd be super fun for a girls' trip. Then back to the States, we'd say Las Vegas. So if you're going to be going out to Arizona, maybe even add Vegas to your list.
You are not far away.
Yeah,
even if you're out in California, add Las Vegas to your list.
Well, and then you'll pop right over to San Diego. We did a San Diego episode with our friend Jason.
Shout out to Jason. We miss you.
Yeah, and then I guess if you're going to be out more towards Arizona, you could definitely do the Grand Canyon. That's on my list. And then...
and what I said earlier, that Savannah really reminds me of Charleston.
Yes.
Great city.
And Charleston. All those places are super wonderful. We're really glad that we could get some travel inspiration and do all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you guys. From literally Ashley's favorite place in Florida, the Keys, to the Red Rocks of Scottsdale, to jazz music and crazy good beignets in New Orleans, to walking around cobble streets in Savannah, hikes in Boulder, and the best bachelorette party in the world,
Nashville.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Text us with questions.
Yes, we love you. Bye.